Srimad Sida Swarupananda Paramahamsa Dinamine Srimad Sida Swarupananda Krishna Prasaya Pujale Srimad Sida Swarupananda Paramahamsa Itinamine Namo Sida Swarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Ora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Vishtaya Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktivinoda Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktivinoda Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Hari Bol 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 Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe 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 Gopala Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe 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 Gopala, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Govinda, Radhe Radhe, 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 Radhe Gopala, Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana, Mohana, 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 Gopala, Govinda Rama, Madana, Mohana. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Hari Bol 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Bol, Haribol. Salamat po, Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimate Sida Swartananda Paramaham Satinamini.
Jai Gurudev, Jayani Taigor. Thank you very much, Elinet and Bam. Maraming salamat. Let us all pay our obeisances first. Nama Om, Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prastaya Bhutale, Srimate Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Iti Namine, Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivas Adigor Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Haribol. Thank you very much, Veya. Welcome to our Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are going to continue our reading and discussion. Our first reader would be, I believe, Mr. Praveen.
Yes po, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Haribol.
Haribo.
We are text 21. The Lord, who is the controller of all energies, thus creates by his own potency, eternal time, the fate of all living entities, and their particular nature for which they were created, and he again merges them independently. The creation of the material world, wherein the conditioned souls are allowed to act subordinately by the Supreme Lord, takes place again and again after being repeatedly annihilated. The material creation is something like a cloud in the unlimited sky. The real sky is the spiritual sky, eternally filled with the rays of the Brahmajyoti, and a portion of this unlimited sky is covered by the Mahat cloud of the material creation, in which the conditioned souls who want to lord it against the will of the Lord are put into play as they desire under the control of the Lord by the agency of his external energy. As the rainy season appears and disappears regularly, the creation takes place and is again annihilated under the control of the Lord, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, text 19. So, the creation and annihilation of the material worlds is a regular action of the Lord, just to allow the conditioned souls to play as they like and thereby create their own fate of being differently created, again in terms of their independent desires at the time of annihilation. The creation, therefore, takes place at a historical date, as we are accustomed to think of everything which has a beginning in our tiny experience. The process of creation and annihilation is called anadi, or without reference to date regarding the time the creation first took place, because the duration of even a partial creation is 8,640,000,000 years. The law of creation is, however, as mentioned in the Vedic literatures, that it is created at certain intervals and is again annihilated by the will of the Lord. The whole material or even the spiritual creation is a manifestation of the energy of the Lord, just as the light and heat of fire are different manifestations of the fire's energy. The Lord therefore exists in his impersonal form by such expansion of energy, and the complete creation rests on his impersonal feature. Nonetheless, he keeps himself distinct from such creation as the Purnam or complete, and so no one could wrongly think that his personal feature is not existent due to his impersonal unlimited expansions. The impersonal expansion is a manifestation of his energy, and he is always in his personal feature despite his innumerable unlimited expansions of impersonal energies. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 5 to 7. For human intelligence, it is very difficult to conceive how the whole creation rests on his expansion of energy. But the Lord has given a very good example in the Bhagavad Gita. It is said that although the air and the atoms rest within the huge expansion of the sky, which is like the resting reservoir of everything materially created, still the sky remains separate and unaffected. Similarly, although the Supreme Lord maintains everything created by of his expansion of energy, he always remains separate. This is accepted even by Shankaracharya, the great advocate of the impersonal form of the Absolute. He says Narayana Paro Vyaktat, or Narayan exists separately, apart from the personal creative energy. The whole creation thus merges within the body of transcendental Narayan at the time of annihilation, and the creation emanates from his body again with the same unchanging categories of fate and individual nature. The individual living entities, being parts and parcels of the Lord, are sometimes described as Atma, qualitatively one in spiritual contribution. But because such living entities are apt to be attracted attracted to the material creation actively and subjectively, they are therefore different from the Lord. Haribol.
Haribol, thank you very much, Mr. Pravin. So, here in this particular verse, we are given the picture, no, of the creation of the material cosmic manifestation. Where does the material cosmic manifestation rests? Actually, the material world, the material universes are also situated in the spiritual sky. No? But sometimes this spiritual sky, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, has some cloud-like formation. And this cloud-like formation actually becomes the material cosmic manifestation. And this material cosmic manifestation, yeah, is uh, um, controlled by the Mahatattva. Mahatattva is the expansion of Krishna. Yeah. Uh, Mahatattva comes in three. You have the Mahavishnu. You have uh, the Garboda Kasai Vishnu, and then you have the Siroda Kasai Vishnu. Siroda Kasai Vishnu is the also the expansion of Mahavishnu, uh, which translates to the Holy Spirit that dwells in everyone's heart. Okay, so the whole the whole material worlds or material cosmic manifestation, okay, comes about um, regularly through creation and annihilation. Now, we find here in this verse that it is said that the living beings are created by Lord Brahma. Okay, now when you say the living being, we only mean it only means the material forms of living beings. The material forms are created, okay, but the spiritual entity or the spiritual identity of each individual, they are never created because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Part and parcel of Krishna means that we are never created, nor can we be nor can we be destroyed, nor can we cease existing. We're always alive. We're always existing. But because we wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna, He allows us to play in the material world as enjoyers of our actions. Yeah, that is how truly Krishna loves all his children. He doesn't stop us. He encourages us to not to come to the material world or be separated from him. He encourages us, no, to come back to our original nature. Our original nature as uh, loving servants of Krishna. Because right now, because we're in the material world, we have forgotten about this very, very important uh, relationship that we have with Krishna. Yeah. And that is how Krishna loves us. Even though, even though he can always say, you know, no, I don't want you to do that. Yeah. In other words, he doesn't force anybody. Because if he forces anybody to serve him, what happens is that uh, we lose our freedom of choice, and Krishna doesn't want us to lose our freedom, because our freedom means that we can it means that the love that we have in our hearts, okay, exists eternally. It will manifest if uh, our freedom is intact. If it, in other words, Krishna doesn't interfere with our freedom. He just encourages us. Don't go there. Don't go to the material world, because the material world is a world of suffering. It is a world of misery. So don't go there. But at the same time, we cannot do anything if we decided to, you know. So he allows us, go ahead, go there, but you will sooner or later find out that the material world it is not a place of happiness. It is not your original condition of having a loving and sweet relationship with Krishna, but rather you will be a false master in the material world. You will misidentify yourself as the material body. You will misidentify yourself as your mind. Yeah. So uh, the material world continues to move on through creation and annihilation, because the Mahatattva, through the Mahatattva, Lord Brahma is born. And Lord Brahma is the creator of the universe. Yeah. And he also creates time, because in the spiritual world, there's no such thing as time. Time is only present in the material world. In the spiritual world, it's timeless. There's only now. There's only the present. There is no tomorrow and there is no future. It is only the present. That is how the spiritual world is. But in the material world, because of our hard-headedness, we are captivated and controlled by material nature. We're controlled by time. Yeah, we are controlled by so many forces above us. That's why there is no point of saying that we can be the master or we can be the enjoyer, because um, we're obviously captivated and controlled by higher forces. The material world, the three modes of material nature, yeah, the threefold miseries. We're always in anxiety. We're always like this because if we were God, as the impersonalists claim to be, then why are we under the jurisdiction of the material world, the material energy? The reason why we are under the influence of the material energy is because of this misrepresentation of ourselves as matter. We are not made of matter. Our bodies are made of matter, but we, the living being, we are completely made of spiritual energy. We're inside right now, presently, we are simply using this body, no? This body that we have right now. And you, the living being, you're inside that body. So every millennium there is a annihilation, and then there's creation again. And then when there's creation again, uh, depending on our material desires, depending on our depending on our karma, material nature will provide us with a body suitable for our desires, depending on what we desire. No, material nature will provide us with a particular body. So we have been traveling from one body to the other since time immemorial. It takes billions and billions of years. Okay, let us continue our reading.
Haribol. Narinig niyo po ako, sir?
Medyo lakasan mo ng konti, parang humina ka.
Haribol.
Okay,
Okay na po, sir.
okay na.
Text 22. After the incarnation of the first Purusa, Karanarvasha Vasai Vishnu, the Mahatattva or the principles of material creation take place, and then time is manifested, and in course of time, the three qualities appear. Nature means the three qualitative appearances they transform into activities. Purport. The omnipotency of the Supreme Lord, the whole material creation evolves by the process of transformation and reactions one after another. And by the same omnipotency, they are wound up again one after another and conserved in the body of the Supreme. Kala or time is the synonym of nature and is transformed manifestation of the principles of material creation. As such, Kala may be taken as the first cause of all creation, and by transformation of nature, different activities of the material world becomes visible. These activities may be taken up as the material instinct of each and every living being, or even of the inert objects. And after the manifestation of activities, there are varieties of products and byproducts of the same nature. Originally, these are all due to the Supreme Lord. The Vedanta Sutras and the Bhagavatam thus begin with the absolute truth as the beginning of all creations. Haribol.
Haribol, thank you very much, Rhea. So the Lord, first of all, uh, creates the material, the material worlds, no, and material cosmic manifestation, and then He creates time, and then he introduces the three modes of material nature, wherein the living beings uh, who want the living beings who want to enjoy sense gratification are put into their respective bodies. In other words, they are born. Their bodies are born. Okay, they are not born because the living being by nature we're all eternal, but because we are conditioned. So there are two types of living beings. One is conditioned, and one is liberated. Liberated. So because we are conditioned living beings, we have not perfected our lives after we have dove into the material pool. Okay, then uh, we are captivated. We're captivated by the three modes of material nature. And action is, you know, activity and action of the living being takes place. So for whatever action we perform in our in our particular body, there is an equal and corresponding reaction known as karma. Okay, so we get captivated by the law of karma, by the law of time, by the law of the nature, by the three modes of material nature. We are so captivated, that is, we are so controlled by so many higher forces. Eventually, we are controlled by Krishna, by Lord Vishnu. Okay, so let's continue our reading.
Haribol Sir Pravin, can you read po?
Yes, this is 23.
Yes, material activities.
Yeah, material activities are caused by the Mahat Tattvas being agitated. At first, there is a transformation of the modes of goodness and passion, and later, due to the mode of ignorance, matter, its knowledge, its knowledge, and different activities of material knowledge come into play. Material creations of every description are more or less due to the development of the mode of passion, that is rajas. Mahatattva is the principle of material creation, and when it is agitated by the will of the Supreme, at first the modes of passion and goodness are prominent, and afterwards the mode of passion, being generated in due course by material activities of different varieties, becomes prominent, and the living entities are thus involved more and more in ignorance. Brahma is the representation of the mode of passion, and Vishnu is the representation of the mode of goodness, while the mode of ignorance is represented by Lord Shiva, the father of material activities. Material nature is called the mother, and the initiator of the materialistic life is the father, Lord Shiva. All material creation by the living entities is therefore initiated by the mode of passion. With the advancement of the duration of life in a particular millennium, the different modes act by gradual development. In the age of Kali, when the mode of passion is most prominent, material activities of different varieties in the name of advancement of human civilization take place, and the living entities become more and more involved in forgetting their real identity, that is, the spiritual nature. By a slight cultivation of the mode of goodness, a glimpse of material nature is perceived. But
Spiritual
due to the
nature. A glimpse of spiritual nature.
spirit, oh sorry, I will read again. By slight of cultivation of the mode of goodness, a glimpse of spiritual nature is perceived. But due to the prominence of the mode of passion, the mode of goodness becomes adulterated. Therefore, one cannot transcend the limits of material modes, and therefore, realization of the Lord, who is always transcendental to the modes of material nature, becomes very difficult living entities, even though prominently situated in the mode of goodness through through cultivation of the various methods. In other words, the gross matters are adibhutam. Their maintenance is adivaitam, no, adhidaivam, and the initiator of material activities is called adhyatmam. In the material world, these three principles act as prominent features, namely, as raw material, its regular supply, and its use of different varieties of material creations for sense enjoyment by the bewildered entities. Haribol.
Mm. Haribol. So here, thank you very much, Mr. Prophet. So here we learned that um, first, before um, Lord Vishnu in the way of his of the Mahatattva, no, Karona Kasai Vishnu or Maha Vishnu, okay, when um, he initiates all these different universes in the material cosmic manifestation known as the material world, okay, um, he expands himself, come in inside every bubble that comes out from his body, okay, and that expansion is known as Karan, and that expansion is known as Garbo, Garbo Dakasai Vishnu, where Lord Vishnu uh, li- lies down in an ocean called Ocean, Garba Ocean. So uh, all of these are, are are part of the process of creation, and we learn that um, Lord Vishnu creates through the agency of Lord Brahma, okay, all first and foremost the time factor, and then you have the material nature, and then through the agency of Lord Brahma, what all the beings are created. The material forms that we see around us, they are formed from. I mean, they are not. They are formed without any reason. They are formed with a reason. With a reason. So living beings are placed in their respective material forms due to their desires, due to their past activities. Okay, they want to enjoy sensual gratification, etc. So it is coming about since time immemorial. Creation, dissolution, like this. Okay. Now, as far as the three modes of material nature is concerned, Lord Vishnu creates what is known as the mode of goodness first, the mode of goodness. Okay, and then by the influence of the mode of goodness uh, in the material world, the mode of passion comes about. Okay, and after the mode of passion comes about, the mode of ignorance comes about. Okay, so it is also described here how Lord Vishnu represents the mode of goodness. Okay, uh, Lord 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 Shiva represents the mode of ignorance. Okay, and as far as the mode of passion, it is represented by Lord Brahma. Okay, so we read further.
Ma'am Elenet po.
Elinet,
Haribol,
pakibasa. Haribol, Elinet.
text 24.
Text 24. Oh.
The self-centered materialistic ego, thus being transformed into three features, becomes known as the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance in three divisions, namely the powers that evolve matter, knowledge, and of material creations, and the intelligence that guides such materialistic activities. Narada, you are quite competent to understand this. Materialistic ego, or the sense of identification with matter, is grossly self-centered, devoid of clear knowledge of the existence of God. And this self-centered egoism of the materialistic living entities is the cause of their being conditioned by the other paraphernalia and continuing their bondage of material existence. In the Bhagavad Gita, this self-centered egoism is very nicely explained in the 7th chapter, verses 24 through 27. The self-centered impersonalist, without a clear conception of the personality of Godhead, concludes in his own way that the personality of Godhead takes a material shape from his original impersonal spiritual existence for a particular mission. And this misleading conception of the Supreme Lord by the self-centered impersonalist continues, even though he is seen to be very interested in the Vedic literatures, such as the Brahmas Sutras and other highly intellectual sources of knowledge. This ignorance of the personal feature of the Lord is due simply to ignorance of the mixture of different modes. The impersonalist thus cannot conceive of the Lord's eternal spiritual form of eternal knowledge, bliss, and existence. The reason is that the Lord reserves the right of not exposing himself to the non-devotee who, even after a thorough study of literature like the Bhagavad Gita, remains an impersonalist simply by obstinacy. This obstinacy is due to the action of Yogamaya, a personal energy of the Lord that acts like an aide-de-camp by covering the vision of the obstinate impersonalist. Such a bewildered human being is described as muda or grossly ignorant because he is unable to understand the transcendental form of the Lord as being unborn and unchangeable. If the Lord takes a form of material shape from his original impersonal feature, then it means that he is born and changeable from impersonal to personal. But he is not changeable, nor does he ever take a new birth like a conditioned soul. The conditioned soul may take a form birth after birth due to his conditional existence in matter. But the self-centered impersonalists, by their gross ignorance, accept the Lord as one of them because of self-centered egoism, even after so-called advancement of knowledge in the Vedanta. The Lord being situated in the heart of every individual living entity knows very well the tendency of such conditioned souls in terms of past, present, and future. But the bewildered conditioned soul hardly can know him in his eternal form. By the will of the Lord, therefore, the impersonalist, even after knowing the Brahman and Paramatma features of the Lord, remains ignorant of his eternal personal feature as ever existent Narayan, transcendental to all material creation. The cause of such gross ignorance is constant engagement by the materialistic man in the matter of artificially increasing material demands. To realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one has to purify the materialistic senses by devotional service. The mode of goodness or the Brahminical culture recommended in the Vedic literatures is helpful to such spiritual realization, and thus the Jnana Sakti stage of the conditioned soul is comparatively better than the other two stages, namely Dravya Sakti and Kriya Sakti. The whole material civilization is manifested by a huge accumulation of materials, or in other words, raw materials for industrial purposes, and the industrial enterprises, Kriya Sakti, are all due to gross ignorance of spiritual life. In order to rectify this anomaly of materialistic civilization based on the principles of Dravya Sakti and Kriya Sakti, one has to adopt the process of devotional service of the Lord by adoption of the principles of Karma Yoga mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita 9:27 as follows: O son of Kunti, all that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities that you may perform, should be done as an offering unto me. Namaste, Haribo.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Elinette. So here we get very viable information about the living being, the living being uh, who are placed in their material forms. Okay, so if a person is placed in a human form, for instance, yeah, that is an opportunity for the person to get out from the wheel of birth and death, get out entirely from the uh, from the atmosphere of the material world. In other words, it is not it is being in the material world is not the all and be all of everything. No, this is really a place of education. This is really a place where we are controlled, we are being educated, okay? That our activities in the material world will spell what kind of life we will have in the future. If we want to stay materially conditioned, it is up to the person. It is up to the person. But once he prefers to get out, once he prefers to get out uh, from the material conditioned life, then he is given the opportunity. He is given that opportunity. Okay, so um, by the process of what is known as karma yoga. Karma yoga. It is actually uh, the yoga of action. The yoga of action. You perform you perform an activity, but at the same time you offer it to the Lord. That is that is karma yoga. Because there are two types of people in this world. One is God conscious, and one is material consciousness, materially conscious. Materially conscious individual, they act uh, and only serve their own senses. So they act accordingly with the um, with the intent of serving themselves only. So because of that is not our nature. Our nature is that we are not uh, we are not masters at any given moment. At any given moment, we are not masters. We're always servants. Okay, we're always servants of God, of the Supreme Lord. So when we engage in activity that is for our own self-interest, then we get captivated by the modes of nature, as well as you know all the activities we perform will end up having a karmic reaction. Karmic reaction. However, when a person engages in karma yoga, if he engages in karma yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, all of his activities are now dovetailed to pleasing the Supreme Lord. So he is not doing that for his own self-interest, but now he is doing activities for the interests of God, for the interests of Krishna. So therefore, it doesn't create any karmic reactions. Wala pong karma yun. Everything that a devotee does in this world may appear to be material. When you don't have a spiritual eye to see, you might think that this person is acting acting in under the influence of material nature, under the influence of the three modes of material nature. But actually, the devotee transcends the three modes of material nature, because he doesn't do activities for his own self-interest. It is always for the interest of God, always for the interest of Krishna. Okay? So we ran out of time. If you have any questions, you can ask. Meron kayong questions? Rhea?
Yes po, sir.
Yeah, who is the in charge for exit Kirtan?
Aribol, sir, wala po ngayon sina Sir Isaac.
Si Shani, nandiyan naman, no?
Ano daw po, sir? Si Ma'am Sharni ay kanat audio lang po siya ngayon kasi she's preparing now for work.
Ah, okay. Teka, sino pa bang pwede rito? Balik lang tayo ulit kay Alin, eh. Alinet, can you do the exit Kirtan?
Yes po, yes, Haribo.
Okay, Haribol.
Opo, Krishna Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya as a neighbor that thou canst love. Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om. Haribol. Salamat po.
Haribol, thank you very much, Elinet and Bam. Maraming salamat sa inyo for the opening and the exit kirtan. Beautiful. All right, I'd like to thank Rhea for the room and also Janner, Mina, and Kalkidas for helping us out, being the co-host of this particular class. Thank you, Janner.
Daghang salamat, sir. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Haribol. Yeah, of course, all the readers, Pravin, Elinet, and Rhea. mm, Thank you very much. And all those who participated, no, in this class, maraming salamat po. Those who have viewed us in Facebook and also in YouTube, maraming salamat din po for coming over. Over to you, Rhea.
Thank you very much din po si Radha, and thank you Ma'am Elinette for the opening and closing kirtan, and Bam, thank you. Thank you Sir George for co-hosting, and thank you everyone. Haribol Namaste. Thank you very much, Sir. Krishna.
Jai Krishna, Haribol.
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 Good night, everyone. Haribol. Namaste.
Haribol. Krishna night everyone. Haribol. Signing off po.